Today, we're talking writer ecosystems. What is it? What do you need? And what's the best? Coming up. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Writer Gadgets and Workflow. I'm so excited to be here today because as I'm coming to the end of my manuscript, I had like an epiphany about the writer ecosystem and what it really takes like to get the job done from end to end, right? And I was thinking about what are all the pieces that I needed to like help me get from the beginning of this idea that I had in my head like 4 years ago, that I lost the outline. I found the outline and I was like, oh, this will be great in this box set I'm supporting, right? So like what gets me from that idea to a finished published product? What are all the pieces? What is the minimum number of pieces that I think you need in order to put forth like a really quality writing product, especially if it's a manuscript for a book, but it could be kind of any like significant writing product, right? So what are the pieces that I think you need? So that is when I got to thinking about this writer ecosystem. You know, how we think about the Apple ecosystem and how everything is like self-contained and everything kind of works together toward your productivity or your creativity or whatever. Like that's what I'm thinking about the writer ecosystem, right? What are the pieces that work together for your writing creativity and productivity specifically, right? So today I just want to talk about two ecosystems, right? Like one, what's in ecosystem, and then like two ecosystems. I have both of them. One I consider kind of the Lexus of ecosystems. One I kind of consider the Toyota of ecosystems, right? And then which one is going to get the job done better? Which one is preferred? Which one is the best? Right? And I'm completely unscripted today, guys. Sorry. So I may wander, but I'm going to try not to wander. I'm going to try and get to the point really quickly. Okay. So what do I think you need in a writer ecosystem? One, I think you must have some kind of no distraction writing tool. Must have, right? I think it's critical to have that in the beginning when you are trying to figure out what your book is about, what your piece is about, whatever that is, right? An article, your paper, your exam, what is the whole thing going to look like? Well, you've got to get the jumbled mess of words out of your head and onto something so you can organize it. And the best way I think to do that is some kind of no distraction writing tool. So I think that's critical, one. Two, I think another critical piece is digital paper. You guys have heard me talk about digital paper like left, right, up, and down. I think digital paper is definitely a forward-looking technology that is not only good for the earth and that will help you save paper, but it will allow you to keep all of your ideas, no matter how those ideas manifest themselves, in one piece, in one place, right? In one piece of technology, all of your ideas can go into one place. Okay, so that's two. So number three, I think, personally, I know how, I'm a writer, so I know how we are about when it comes to like writing. Keyboards is critical. I think it's so important to have some kind of keyboard that you love. For the mere fact that you need something that's gonna make you want to get to the table and write, and it's not going to feel like a slog, and it's not going to wear your fingers out, and it's not going to give you carpal tunnel syndrome. you need some kind of great piece of a keyboard, of something that makes you happy. The sound makes you happy, so that you'll want to get to your desk or wherever, and you want to create, and you'll want to edit, and you want to edit over your edited edits. So you've got to have some kind of keyboard that is wonderful. The next thing I think you need, number 4, I think you need some kind of productivity tool. Okay, some kind of productivity tool. Not necessarily for the creating, because the creating, I think, really should be done on that no distraction tool. But when you're moving the stuff off the no distraction tool onto a productivity tool, so that you can format it, so that you can edit it, so that you can get it ready for publishing, so that you can actually publish it, like you need some kind of tool that's going to do that. Now, that could be a laptop, right? And we know laptops come at all costs right now, right? Or it can be as simple as an iPad, right? Some iPads do fantastic work in terms of your writing workflow, and actually getting your writing published, or getting your work finished, your paper finished, your article finished, and looking pretty, desktop publishing, all of that kind of stuff. So you need some kind of tool for that, right? And then I think personally, I feel like the last thing is kind of a must-have. Maybe not really, but yes, it's some kind of headphones, right? I think you need headphones for productivity, for optimum productivity. At a minimum, you need something to help keep you focused. I've talked to you guys about my Brainwave app, putting even the cheapest headphones in your ears and running that cheap Brainwave app, which I think is free actually, to me will boost your productivity, out of the sky, right? But if not Brainwave, I think you need to have something in your ears to help keep you focused or to block out the noise. So you need either listening headphones or noise canceling headphones. I think those are critical to the ecosystem. So I want to talk about 2 ecosystems today, okay? I'm going to try to just give the highlights, but also talk about the cost, and then what do I think is the most effective ecosystem out there. If you're going to put your money into it, what's going to be most effective? All right, so let's get into the ecosystems. Okay, the first thing I think you need is some kind of no distraction writing tool. Okay, so for me, my go-to choice has been the Freewrite. I can't even tell you how much I love this tool. I actually changed the keys out, but not only does the sound wonderful, but it was just key to me getting this draft done. I was able to sit down and write without caring about, one, you have to write forward, and 2, I just was able to let go of all the conventions and all the things I thought I was supposed to do and just write words and get the jumbled mess of crap out of my head onto this. The beautiful thing about this, it saves to the cloud, okay? Automatically saves to the cloud. It makes it really easy to move words into your whatever your productivity tool is, okay? So the Freewrite is this is the Lexus, right? So this is over $500. So this is definitely the Lexus. The Neo, the AlphaSmart Neo, to me, out of all the productivity, the no distraction tools I have, this is at the top of my list. This is what I would be using if I didn't have a Freewrite. And it wasn't so long ago that I didn't have a Freewrite and I was actually using this. But I love this. The difference, of course, is one, it's not automatically connected to the cloud. You have to manually move anything you write on here. The capacity is probably significantly less, but it doesn't really matter if you're consistently moving things on and off of here. This does allow you to go backwards. You don't just have to write forward, which, that can cause some challenges for people who can't stop moving backwards and need to move forward. But as a no distraction writing tool, 100%, this is clutch, right? Now, cost. This is the Toyota, right? You can go on eBay, you can find one of these for like 40, 45 bucks. Significantly less than 550 bucks. So I would call this one of these two options the optimal options for no distraction writing tools in your writer ecosystem. Next thing you need, I think, is digital paper. For me right now, my digital paper of choice is the Remarkable 2. I love this tool. I love the Remarkable 1, but I love the Remarkable 2, and I think there are some benefits to the Remarkable 2. One is, you can look back at my review, but one of the big things I love is how thin this is, how light it is, and how it keeps my pen close. The organization is, roughly the same as the Remarkable 1, but what I do feel like is that, to me, it's faster. I love the scritch. You guys know my unofficial term for that sound of the resistance that makes it sound like you're writing on actual paper. Like, I love that. I love the app that makes it easy to move documents on and off. But this is really critical for maintaining notes. You guys know, if you're writing a project, there are always notes. You want to change a character's name. You want to delete a chapter. You want to, you want to do any number of things. You want to go from a third person to first person, right? But you may not want to stay optimally productive. You may not want to make those changes right then and there, right? You may not want to go back and make changes. So what I do is I use this to make changes to help me go forward, right? That's what this is. This is to capture all those notes. This is to review my manuscript so that I can go through and mark it up, do proofreader's marks so that I can go back and make edits. This is so that I can review my EPUB when it's all done. So that's the beautiful thing about the Remarkable and having some kind of digital paper. Now, this is the Lexus, right? This is $449 with the case and the pen and everything, okay? The Mobi Scribe comes with everything, right? Comes with the case, comes with the device, comes with the pen, okay? Not as luxurious, obviously, as the Remarkable, but considerably cheaper. It's only $250, and it does roughly the same features. It has roughly the same features and functionality, but it's just in a, it's in a much smaller tool. That's one. This has much larger capacity than the Remarkable 2. This is, I think, 6 or 8 gigabytes. This is 32 gigs, right? So in terms of capacity, it's huge. But the one difference that I've talked about in previous videos is that the Remarkable will allow you better organization. It will allow you to save all of your related pieces in one folder, whereas this will not allow you to do that. That is the one thing that, to me, really sets the Remarkable apart from any other digital device, any other, okay? So that is something to consider as part of your ecosystem. But in terms of functionality, being able to take the notes, create folders and take notes and to go back to those to help you revise your work, both of them do that. And like I said, this one is about $200 cheaper. So something to consider. All right, so then number 3 in the ecosystem is a keyboard. Okay, obviously. writers, you got to have the right keyboard. You know how it is. You know, you can go, I have probably 8 or 9 different keyboards in my house right now. And I can tell you right now, I'm pretty much using one. The QWERTY Writer right now is my keyboard of choice. I love this. I love the sound. Now, this is the Lexus, okay? This is a whopping $299. But the sound, the look, the build, it's just phenomenal. Okay, phenomenal piece of machinery, but it is a keyboard. There's no magic here. It doesn't do a whole lot of fancy stuff. What it does is allows you to type with beautiful sound. Okay, so this to me, having something every day. I get up. I've been typing on this, so I'm finishing up my second draft, and every day I use this keyboard to, whether it's connected to my iMac or whether it's connected to my iPad. This is the keyboard of choice right now. The sound, the feel, everything. It makes me excited to come and get this done. So this is the keyboard of choice right now. For those who don't, have Lexus money, there is the Toyota, what I consider to be the Toyota. And this is the Lofree. But there are Lofree Lite keyboards out there that are like $40. I think this one's like $200, but don't worry, they have ones exactly like this now that are like $200. You hear that sound? That's great creativity. Now, I will tell you the difference between, for me, and why I probably don't use this more. You can see how close the keys are to one another. And for me, having, big hands, long fingers, it's a little more difficult for me to type on this without making a bunch of mistakes. That's why, this gives me a little more real estate. And I think it's more comfortable to type on. So that is why I use it. But if you have smaller hands, to me, I think this is a great choice. This is $299. This is $39, $40. And it has, I think it has MX Blue cherry keys. I mean, like good sounding keys, right? So definitely consideration for keyboards, something that you like to go to. Doesn't have to be expensive. For me, again, I love this, but you don't have to use a QWERTY, right? You can use something like this. A Lofree Lite. If you go on Amazon, you can find any number of keyboards with different colors. They have pink, they have green, they have red. They have all kinds of different colors that look just like this and give you that wonderful sound that are considerably cheaper. Like I said, $39, $40. You can hardly beat that, right? Number 4 on my list is obviously this is my iPad. This is my iPad Pro. This, of course, goes in the Lexus category. I think it was like 800 something bucks. Now, if you want something like this, I recommend maybe going to backmarket.com. I have bought other tools from Backmarket and they've been in really fantastic condition. So you can go to backmarket.com and you can buy yourself the Lexus of iPads. They've got the new ones coming out, the M1. Yes, I did get one. I don't need it. Nope. Carla, why did you get it? I don't know. You know me. I'm just a junkie. But you do have this iPad Pro, which is probably considered the Lexus. And the wonderful thing about this is you can use productivity apps on your productivity tool. The app I'm using right now to write my current books is livingwriter.com. Okay, livingwriter.com, which allows me to switch from tool to tool, whether I'm using my MacBook, whether I'm using my iMac, whether I'm using I get the same exact experience, the same, I land at my documents in the same place, no matter what tool I'm on, automatically updates to the cloud. Has all kind of functionality for desktop publishing. It's just a really, really great tool. I used to use Scrivener, and now I'm trying out this one, and I'm finding I kind of like it. There's some quirks with the app on the iPad, but if they get those things, figured out, that's going to be a really great tool. So right now, I can do everything I want to do right here. Publish the whole nine using this tool and this app. Everything. Two things, right? All right. So the Toyota is my iPad Air. Okay. Considerably cheaper now. You can also go on back market. You can find one of these with like 64 gigs, which is about all you're going to need, for about $200. Some are cheaper, some are more expensive, but this is iPad Air, second generation. It's about $200, and as you can see, I can use the same exact tool on this. It's wonderful, and it's considerably cheaper, and it will allow you to do the same functions for a lot cheaper. So we're talking $800 versus $200, much, much cheaper, okay? Something to consider. Lastly, as part of your writer ecosystem, I think you got to have some headphones, right? Okay, so you guys know that I bought my my AirPod Maxes, right? These things are run about $550, but for me, in terms of sound, in terms of capability, in terms of I can do voice dictation with these that is highly accurate. And I can walk around the room and think and write and listen to music and dictate at the same time. Like, there's so many functions for these. It's $550. Yes, these are definitely in the Lexus category, okay? But do you have to have these? Absolutely not. But these are definitely, to me, well worth the purchase, well worth the money that I spent to purchase these. So I love these. However, if you don't have $550, you can go considerably cheaper. What I do recommend, two things I do recommend, however cheap you go, is that you get something. Now these are my regular AirPod, and so for these, I think now you can get them for like $99, but of course you can go way cheaper. The good thing about these, if they didn't fall out my ears, I probably would have stopped here. I wouldn't have got the AirPod Pros, and I wouldn't have gotten the Maxes, but those all fall out my ears. So a couple things to consider is whether you can find some that actually fit in your ears and stay in your ears. Two, that have noise canceling. Now these don't have noise canceling, but they're so well constructed that you can actually put these in your ears, listen to a little music, and you're not going to really hear much. Okay, so for $99, that's great, but you can go considerably cheaper for headphones. What I do recommend is that they be Bluetooth, so you have some mobility, and I do recommend that they have some kind of noise canceling function if you're not going to listen to music or listen to something like the brainwave or something like that, okay? So that's pretty much it for the writing ecosystems. Now, let's talk cost. Okay, so I kind of did a tally, like a quick tally. Okay, so for the Lexus system, okay, which includes the Maxes, which includes the Quirky, which includes the iPad Pro, which includes the Remarkable, right? The Remarkable, which includes the Freewrite, okay? That ecosystem will run you $2,625. Yeah, it's pricey. When I totaled it up, see, it's a good thing that I bought all that stuff separately because if somebody had put that in one cart and said, this is it, I probably would not own any. I don't know that I would own any of the pieces, right? When you buy them separately, it doesn't feel that big. But okay, so here's what I did. So what I did is I looked at daily, what's the daily cost? You know, like how you could feed 10 kids a day for 10 cents. They make it sound so cheap, right? So I said, like, I'm going to use my ecosystem every day, every single day. So, like, what's my daily cost? So, even though it's a $2,600 price tag, my daily cost is $3.60 a day for 2 years. I'm easily going to use this stuff for 2 years, probably more than that, probably 5 years, right? I'm probably done for the next 5 years. I don't know how much we're going to have to talk about, but I'm not going to be buying a whole lot more stuff, right? So for $3.60 a day over 2 years, that's like a cup of coffee. Like if you took $3.60 each day and put it in a jar, you could buy this whole ecosystem. The Lexus, right? That's not bad, right? That is absolutely not bad when you look at it that way. And so I really did have to kind of look at it that way to make it like palatable, right? For people who are like resistant to like investing it. But if you're going to be a writer and you're going to do it every day, you're worth it. You are worth $3.60 a day. Really, you are. Now, if you cannot afford that, the other ecosystem, you know, the Lofree Lite keyboard, which is about $40, which includes the iPad Air, which includes the Mobi Scribe digital paper, which includes the AirPods or something cheaper. You can get something considerably cheaper, and which includes the Neo. That ecosystem costs that ecosystem costs $636. Now, in terms of daily cost, if we're going to cost compare, it's 87 cents a day for 2 years, as opposed to $3.60 a day. So $8, well, we'll round up. We'll call it 90 cents a day. So 90 cents a day versus $3.60 a day. What is the best, right? What is the best? Well, here's the best news. I personally don't think one is necessarily better than the other. One isn't going to make you any more productive than the other, except that it's a mental thing about preference, right? So if you really love the feel of the Freewrite, if you really love the functionality of an AirPod Pro versus an Air, mentally, you'll probably feel more productive with the Lexus versus the Toyota. But if it doesn't really matter to you and you just need the pieces, go for the Toyota. But get all the pieces because, again, I think you need all those pieces to be truly productive in your writing workflow. So that is really all I have for today. I'm probably going to use that workflow, that ecosystem, just like that. And it's super productive for me. And I feel good. Like I feel, I've gotten a book done in about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months. So that's pretty good. All right. So that is all I have for today. Please, if you like the content on this channel, like and subscribe below. Don't forget, if you have any questions about any part of the ecosystem, please just leave your questions, leave your comments. You know that I get to them as soon as I can. We know I have a nutso job. I did switch companies. I'm kind of doing the same nutso job for a new company. So I'm anticipating that, mentally I'll be in a much better place to deliver some of this content. So I'm so excited about that next road in my journey. So, again, thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, leave your comment below, and I'll see you next time.